I need to show the intro of this game, and I need it to capture immediately. Because the intro to this game is incredibly nice. I'm going to do hook rate, maximum speed. This is going to kill the performance of my computer for just a bit. But I need you to see the intro. That was a beautiful intro. Fake OS opens into Repla OS. Cube, that is a great effect. Wow. It has the almost like fade out effect that you would see from like a music video or something, but done in the same style as the game because everything is about manipulating cubes. This is a game called Replicube where you have to recreate the shape that you see on screen by programming it. So today is a programming heavy day. Pseudo programming, and I did promise no new games, but this is another new game along with spreadsheets. This one is more of a programming game though, because the update for this game, I think 2 days ago, mentioned that they updated the code editor. So as far as I can tell, this is a real code editor game. Replicube is about generating 3D objects made up of tiny little cubes. The object area is divided up into a grid of these cubes, which are called voxels. Oh boy, I don't know, I don't have any math background. I have a really bad math background. The voxel can either be empty or filled in with a color from the palette. I'm assuming you would reference it just by the index, so 1. It starts at 1? Why don't you start at 0? That's messed up, man. To create objects, you will write code to decide the value for each voxel. Oh no. Oh no. Here is perhaps the simplest possible program. It simply returns a number, and all the voxels become that color. The comments are dash dash. Okay, so comments begin with a dash dash. Thank God I know how to program. If I didn't know how to program, I don't think I could do this well. Mechanical keyboard. What? Wait, you get a different keyboard? Oh, this is kind of cool. Wait a minute. Code autocomplete? Yeah, sure. It simply returns number, and all the voxels become that color, right? But wait, if my code only returns a single number, how can I possibly make complex objects? Good question. Yeah, because that's a really complex object art. Your code is not only run one time. Actually, your code is run separately for every voxel in the object area. In this example, your code is run 27 times, 3 times 3 times 3. Very similar to a vertex shader. Very, very similar. Is it a vertex shader? I'm pretty sure it's called a vertex shader. Each voxel can be identified by its X, Y, and Z load location. This is just shading, but in 3D. Well, it's effectively just shading in the general. But specifically, it's like shading with voxels, and then has a 3D element to it, whereas like shading would just be the X and the Y, and you have to figure out the depth through other means. But still, when your code is run, special variables X, Y, and Z are preset with the location of the current voxel. So really, your code is the answer to the question, what is the value of the voxel at X, Y, and Z? Here's a slightly more complex example. You see that the code returns different values depending on X, Y, and Z. So if X equals 0, oh god. We're not going to do this like switch case thing, but at the same time you kind of have to, because if you want to be in a certain plane, then you have to do this. If you want like a repeating pattern, you would have to do like mod 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's like different ways to do it. But I can sort of see how this relates somewhat to graphics programming with like shaders and stuff in general. Though without the complexity of, I think, a lot of the built-ins of shaders. Like shaders themselves have a shit ton of built-ins that you need to know. And the mathematics, because it's like normalized mathematics, there's a certain transformation from whatever coordinate scale that it would usually be and whatever you end up with into the normalized scale that's a bit confusing the first time around. So, sticky note, this is amazing. This is a full fake virtual interface for a programming game. Wow! This is a cool concept. I don't know how I didn't even know about this, but this is cool. Energy saver. No, what? What? Energy saver? No, what? No. So check email to do electronic inbox CubeNet admin. Welcome to Replicube. Thank you for registering your Replicube terminal. Please find the attached tutorial projects to get you started. By the way, this game has a community aspect, so there is an online element to this game, where I can actually make a login. And guess what? The login, this is a real login. So I can make an account and I can face all of you as rivals. So you can be my rivals within this game. So I'm gonna make an account. So whoever has this game, we can actually make and share things together. And we can apparently see like a scoreboard of how well we did compared to each other. In a way, it's interesting because it's not an unknown concept within the programming world, right? Like it's LeetCode. LeetCode's entire business model is based around this idea of... Sorry, I'm so gassy. is based around this entire idea of solving problems with known good solutions and known best solutions in many cases, right? I would say in every case, even for the hard questions, but that ultimately, how do I say this? Register new user. It's like, but that ultimately depend on you knowing what to do and having like a set of like pre-knowledge to sort of be able to execute on it, right? So it's interesting because the leaderboard can show one of two things. You either show your improvement relative to something else, whatever that metric is, improvement relative to the norm, or to the average, which in LeetCode case it's pretty skewed because some of the tricks can be pretty intense. Like you would even do things like reassign certain built-ins within the LeetCode environment to get you bonus execution speed, right? But let's say within like a normal use case, you would see how fast you are compared to the average solutions of most people. And then you would be able to sort of benchmark yourself against that, and you go higher or lower. And you can even do it against particular users because you can just share your number with everyone else. And your number is execution time and memory use and all these other metrics, right? So to have that same concept but applied to this game is a pretty cool aspect of a programming game. Because we've seen many, I have to check my email, sorry. In many programming games, you get a lot of attempts at this type of thing, but the execution is more about using the programming aspect to do something else, and that other thing has the competitive aspect. So for instance, what's a game that we played? It was a programming game where you could hack things and make money, right? There's various multiplayer versions of that game where the goal is not to be the better programmer. The goal is to steal someone else's money and like have the most whatever asset and like have and be better in some other abstract way. This game takes it back to basics and says, okay, that LeetCode model of are you good at the fundamentals, and then applying that to the concept of you making shapes. Like that's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm trying to find my email. It's a compelling concept because I don't know how to say this without being nice, but you ever talk to a programmer? Like, you ever talk to a programmer and you think to yourself, wow, this guy's weird? Like, we're weird, man. Like, there's a lot of, like, you realize that, like, a programmer's hobby, the thing that they like to do is programming. And you think to yourself, that's absurd, because, like, why would you want to do the thing that's your job? But for a lot of people, that's what they like to do. But for many people, you don't have something that you can do that is fundamentally more interesting than programming, like little tools. Like most of the time, my problem is trying to figure out what I even want to make. When streaming, I get ideas for things that I want to make, and it's a bit of a boon in that sense because it drives the creative aspect of like, what am I even going to do? But if you don't have that, it's like, what problems in your life can be solved by technology? If you're someone that you know is dying from some incurable disease, no technology can really save you insofar as what you can do. Probably, in most cases. Maybe you like the 0.0001% probably can, but... And so it's like, it's very hard to find things to do with programming. That's why you tend to find people will just work on open source projects, which is good, because it's, it helps other tools and other people grow and learn, right? It helps you learn as well, because with the open source project, you have this back and forth with a larger community. But there's something about just working on something that it has the same, almost similar skill set in the way that it's very refined, whether it's refined towards a puzzle-solving aspect or refined towards like the general knowledge side of things. And then just doing that is also enjoyable. And that's what LeetCode kind of is for some people. But then it's like, this game has that too for this aspect, for its own aspect. So again, it's a cool way of doing it. It's very rare to find. You wonder if I like this game. Well, I haven't even played it yet, so I have no clue. I've only just signed into the online thing. The syntax made you sad. Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair though, it's like, the more complex your syntax, the more complex of a programming language you have to make. Like, programming languages are fundamentally easy to make because it's sort of the same process all throughout, but it's also complicated because the more that you allow within the syntax, the more rules that you need to put in place to make it work. The less rules you have, the easier it is. And ultimately, if you go too far into programming, The only people who can play the game are programmers. So it's like, it's a bit of a give and take of like, how far do you go for a DSL? Especially, I need you to like think about this too. It's a programming language that you'll never use ever again. They could have just used Python, but then you have the problem of people using Python, and that's just too much power for what this game is trying to do, right? So what do? Well, you give them like a smaller subset, but the smaller subset, it's like, how do you make it really good? Well, you're looking at sort of however large this development team is, and you look at programming language research, and you look at C++ and how long it took to get something like concepts. Like, I think it was C++ 23 that they finally added concepts, so that you can actually constrain your templates without having to rely on SVNA, right? And you could even like codify SVNA in like different ways now without having to rely on the old style of just making different templates and just having the compiler not fail on the previous one and just keep on going down until one specialization works. So it's already complicated to make your own programming language. And then you have to do this while also making it a game, because it's a programming language that's designed to drive the game. I can sort of see why there would be warts. One, it takes a lot of specialized knowledge to make a really good programming language. A lot of things that we don't even think about. And if you've never worked in another language that feels a lot better to use, you won't really be able to conceptualize it. Because a lot of these things that you think about in a programming language that makes it feel better only really comes from a very, very small subset of intuition that I don't have, right? It's hard to imagine what could be better. And then two, they still have to make the rest of the game. So the person actually streams the game development. Fun fact. Yeah, so I mean, that's cool. I don't know I don't know what to say about that other than that's cool. But I can still see, like, that's even crazier because it's one single person. I don't mind if the language is shit, because making a programming language in general is just hard. Hello, everyone. Thanks for playing. Pixel Art Rivals. General discussion. Vim Motions. I just started this and absolutely adore it. And the fact that the CubeNet community exists. Yeah, this is actually a really cool little fake forum. This is a really neat fake forum. And I like how it's all built into this system within the game. Like, you don't have to go anywhere else. You can just have this within your game. It feels like your own secret space to play in, if that makes sense. So, and then I also like how they put people inside their own... What is this? Any cute kitties in chat? Meow, meow, meow. Rawr, rawr. I'm more of a trains guy myself. Trains are so cool, bro. Meow or whatever. Hey, mew. Hello, everyman. Hello, everyman. Oh no. Is comically large and UI had no idea what to do. I love the pixelated rendering of emojis though. Why does the UI behave so strangely? Why is this pixelated but not this unknown one? What? How do I type in an emoji? I like that big circle. Empty, empty. I see is a perfectly circle without pixelation. Also, I guess they're on the Mac. I'm on the Windows 11 and I can't see the emojis, just like the Microsoft ones. Oh. Okay, well, maybe the forum. Thank you, TikTok. TikTok algorithm recommended me this, and it might be the best game I've played in my life. I will be telling my friends to buy Replicube. It was YouTube Shorts for me, but the one of them describing the game as someone who really likes Pycross. What is Pycross? And shaded programming. Okay, the shaded programming thing makes sense. Pycross sounds familiar, though. Pycross. Oh, this is the DS game. I remember this. Or they had like a DS game. Yeah. I also saw that whole game and forum aesthetics are awesome. Yeah, this is honestly a really cool concept to have this strange forum that no one else really knows. How can I do general discussion? Do you know what's crazy? This is nuts. The people who played the demo for free, right? They talk about who here is a cute kitty cat. The people who bought the game to play the game are like, hey, can I get Vim motions? There are two types of programmers. There are two types of programmers. And both types are accepted, but I just want you to know that like one type is way weirder than the other. It's not the ones inside the demo. It's me and Moondust Latte. However, I use Vio NeoVim and can't seem to navigate the editor without feeling hindered. I almost feel this way. Anyways, loving the game. I actually do too, and I'll get used to it, but my arrow keys are weird. What are you working on at this exact moment? Rust Bevy on the side. Rust Bevy is incredibly interesting to use. It's a very experimental game engine, let's say the least. But what's interesting is that game engine actually has a single game now that's out, I think, in Tiny Blade. Otherwise, No. They made their own custom, I think. Okay, anyways, cool forum. This is actually just a sick concept. I love the idea of just a forum. And I love that okay, chat, send me your usernames in this game in the Discord. We're going to be rivals, all of you. Send me your usernames and we're going to be rivals. This is a friend feature. We're going to make magic happen. Files manager. No, sorry. Email attachments, no. Tutorial project. Okay, the very basics. Your job is to write code to match to generate an object that matches the one in the upper right. Your code should return the color you want each voxel to be. You use names or numbers for colors. See the palette below. Try modifying the code below to match the color in the reference. Very nice UI. This UI, so before multi-monitors, I mean, not that multi-monitors didn't exist, but like this idea of having multiple monitors to see different views, it was not a really common thing. Like, it took a while for even Visual Studio to have its own detachable window docks that you could display around. But what you would have is just the one window, and then all the other docks would be attached to it. So if you want to run like the DirectX or like the visual debugger within Visual Studio, it would just be there, and you had to like go through, and one side is like a stack trace, and then at the bottom would be your application, like a smaller window. Or if you already built it to run separately, then you could do it in its own window as well, and it would just hook to it, but that's a bit harder. And then you would just sort of, you know, play through it and see what happens and stuff. Like, this is very reminiscent of that. And then even IDEs today, or like, I don't know, or like IDE setups like Spider kind of follow this still today. At least last time I used it. But it's been a couple of years since I used Spider, but a lot of IDEs seem to go down this format of like multiple windows, all of which aren't your code, but like stuff that will help your code, if that makes sense. Stuff that is going that your code that you can use to help you in your coding development sort of cycle, right? Like a bunch of tool windows, basically, and there's too many of them in general, in my view. But this, it makes sense for this game. And then the documentation over here. Can I drag this around? No, I can't. Replicube is a... Well, I just need to return the color, so this is easy. I'm assuming this color is 7. Code size 2. Average cycles of voxel. Average cycles of voxel. 2? Code size 2. What does it even mean? How could you get any less of a code size? I wonder. Page 1. What? Wait, no. Go to page 104. Somebody finished this in 5,000 lines of code. How's that possible, actually? Huh. Cycles. Most people did 30, and somebody did 9988. FunMaker did 9988. Cool. Okay. Conditions may apply. Remember, you are trying to match. Each time your code is run, 3 variables will be set for you identifying the location of the current voxel. These variables are x, y, and z without quotes. You use conditions to decide what value to return based on x, y, and z. Okay. End doesn't mean the end of the file, it means the end of this if-then block. Okay, so this is very, very, very... The syntax actually reminds me a lot of, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I've been in like language land for a while now, but a lot of languages did used to have the syntax, this idea of no scoping with braces, and then you would have to use keywords to enter the scopes, which isn't bad. I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just a matter of like, do you enjoy braces or do you enjoy spaces? I don't enjoy spaces because formatting always felt like a finicky, like a very finicky thing to deal with, because especially when you have to deal with spacing, like you have a long line that's full of nested statements, you want to break it up into multiple lines. It's sort of like confusing, because then it's like, okay, well, does the space denote a new scope or not? You have to look at the previous line. Whereas with the braces, you know definitively what's the scope. But that's a stylistic thing that doesn't really matter in the long run. Documentation, overview, okay, in order to make things interesting, yep. If then, I'm assuming it's only one... For Replipaint must be unlocked projects. What? I'm going to assume that the if-then is the only form of it. Like, there's no other form of if-then. Like, there's no ternary. Oh, wait, there is. Well, I mean, kind of. It's not really ternary, it's just one line. you can just one-line everything. Your code uses the Lua programming language. That's why it looks familiar. It's Lua. Okay, there we go. That's the one. Yeah. I mean, it's one of them. There's like a few. There's a fair amount of programming languages that use end if and if end. What's the one that was? Oh, recently. Yeah, CMake. Sorry, I was recently fixing some CMake build file for some projects, and that language is a fucking mess. that language is like, it's as if you took everything about C, specifically the header inclusion rules, especially the way that the compiler is supposed to like dump it all into one space, the compiler, quote unquote, but it's really just the CMake program, and yet it runs right then and there. And then you have the variable declaration of a madman. It's not even based on any real language. Like it's one of the strangest languages I've ever used, where the variable declaration is based on the number of statements and the number of scopes that you apply it to. It's very explicit, but at the same time also very confusing. It's like both explicit and confusing, which is typically the worst combination to be in. Because if you have a language that makes something easy, but it's confusing, then that's almost better, because at least it's easy to do and it's not painful to change. If it's really explicit and hard to do, but it's still confusing, then you've gained nothing from the explicitness except for a headache. But it also uses the same format of like if and if, and in the shell scripts too, obviously. But you use keywords or and or to combine multiple conditions. Right? If resulting object, you also nest conditions as much as you want. And so chain conditions using if, else, and else keywords defining a variable. My var. Okay, so you just assign a name. I don't know if scoping for names matters. Like if you do if inside here and then you do a my var in here, does it leak outside? I don't think so, because it's just Lua. And then Lua, it has scopes. It's just scopes by spacing, so it's fine. And an array start at 1, which is just, that's awful. But this also explains why the colors start at 1. Because it's Lua. Because the equal symbol is used for setting variables. When you want to compare, use to. Right, okay. True of A. Oh yeah, I forgot. And then the not equals is the tilde. That's actually chaos. Like that's. Wait, is that in base Lua too? I swear they changed that. No, Lua not equals. That's why you use exclamation marks now. No, it is. Oh, maybe I use some other like super language. Maybe I use some other. Oh, you know what? The last time I did use Lua was for like this game that had its own version of the language that used for mods, because I was trying to figure out what exactly the game was doing to try to cheat. So it was a single player game. So okay, so that does make sense. You do many math operations in Lua. Here's a list of operators with descriptions. I mean, to be fair, if you could change the language to make it better, I think you would probably do the exclamation mark. It diverges a lot, and you want to diverge as little as you can. But at the same time, if you're fresh to programming, this makes sense to you, I think. Because exclamation mark in language is not the same as tilde. Like, tilde looks special in the sense of, like, it's its own unique operator. Like, the only people who really use tilde are the people who, like, text you, and they go, like, this, and they go, like, meow, like that, you know what I mean? Or they go, nyan, right? Like, that's, like, uwu. Or they'll, like, go, like, uwu, right? That's the only time that people really use the tilde within real text. So it's very easy for you to like use it. Whereas like exclamation mark is excitement. It's hard to, you know. Either way, the language is like old, so that's not really why. But I can kind of see, I can make a reason for it. You didn't even have tilde on your keyboard before you tried this game. That's bold, because tilde is a very useful hotkey. Even for my custom keyboard where everything is in a different place, I still put tilde because a lot of things use it for, say, like a dev console thing. Like it's just easier to like tap it. And then you can do math operators, floor division. I forgot that floor division was a built-in part of it, right? Modulo, exponentiation. That I do like that exponentiation and stuff is a built-in part of it, because I hate having to call it to a function because it feels weird. Lua also supports bitwise operators which operate in the binary. Okay, yeah, we don't need to do this. Well, we will eventually. Because this is helpful in that you can have a bitwise, and then you can check the bits within like within a number that's basically like a bit flag, and you can say like, okay, how many properties? Because instead of doing like if or, you can put all of your various conditions within a bit flag, and every single bit is a different condition, and you can just check that way. Like it's very handy for that as a bit flag. Bitwise operations otherwise are a bit of a road to hell. Like it's, especially if you need it to change and transform a number to use for something, and it's not for bit flags. I've always found it to be very painful to keep in mind, whereas like something else would be a bit easier, but it's also very domain specific. Min, max, av, floor, round, cell. Okay, yep. Defining a function. There we go. Defining all functions as well. If you have no idea what it is, don't worry about it. It's not needed for any puzzle. But you're gonna make some things more convenient. Yep. Okay, function. Yep. Box. Yep. Right. There's no types. You just say the names. Can I say something? Rust fucked up by not making name parameters. This is a crazy thing to say now, but I wish there was an opt-in or just some system for named parameters, because every time I go and I use Swift, the one thing that I enjoy about Swift is that even though it's a bit more explicit, boy oh boy, do I love the fact that I don't need to remember the placement of parameters, which is always a pain point when the function gets even longer, especially when you need to... It sucks the most when you need to call native OS APIs. Like, that's when it sucks the most, because everything is with like C, right? You call a Windows function, it has like 8 different parameters, and every parameter has a different type, and you need to remember the exact order, and it's painful. You can look at the documentation, but it's super easy to mix up every single time, because 3 things will be 3 numbers in a row. You need to remember which is which. Anyways, same problem here. Let's face 2 boxes of different sizes and positions. Right. So in range, what's in range? Huh? What? What's in range? Is there a built-in function called inRange? InRange. Returns true if v is greater than a and less than or equal to b. Okay, so if it's in range of ab, VAB. Oh, that is handy. Lua is used, but your code is run in a sandbox. Only the following Lua libraries are loaded. Base. Many functions have been removed, such as load, do file, raw set, the meta table. I mean, to be fair, if you added that, you could break the game, because you could set the meta table to anything. Most of the functions are allowed in math, but they've been added to the global table, so you can't use the math.xxx prefix. Why do you do xxx? Instead, just use the functions directly, e.g. abs or assign, etc. Though some functions have been removed, such as random. I'm assuming because... Actually, that's interesting that they remove random. Does it need to have some underlying OS support to make it work? Because I thought by default most things random function is not at all good, and it's just some seeded thing that you just do. So I'm surprised that they removed it, because it would be fun to have as like a random thing to show. I don't know. Most of the functions are allowed in table, but they've been added to the global table, so you can't use the prefix. That just use the functions directly with sort insert table global table insert. What's a table again? I don't remember what a table is. Table. Well, I mean, does it say here table? Can I say something too? I don't know why we keep using different names for the same things. Like I wish there was a just consistent naming for different concepts. Like, I know that, like, okay, your language is doing its own thing, right? But if a table is like an array and it works like an array, and if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it should be called a duck. Or if it's like an object structure, just call it like a struct. That way it's like super easy to know. Okay, so a table is a struct. Table implements associative arrays, which is like a struct, which is also just like an object in JS. Like already there's 3 different names, right? Which is like a struct in C, it's like an object in JS. It's fuck. Following libraries are not loaded. String is not allowed. IO, obviously, because it's files. Debug is gone. Modules, I can't remember what modules was. I think that was the make your own file modules that you can load in with the, I think it's the include statement. Your code doesn't have to return a number. Returning nothing will be interpreted as 0, empty space. Returning a Boolean value will be empty for false and color 1 white for true. What? Wait, can I read it again? Your code doesn't have to return a number. Returning nothing will be interpreted as 0. Returning a Boolean value will be... and color 1 for what? Huh? Oh, I get what they were trying to explain here. They were trying to associate every concept with the last. Your code doesn't have to return a number. Returning nothing will be interpreted as 0, which is also known as an empty space. Returning a Boolean value will be empty for false, and empty we've already established as empty space, which is also established as being 0. So you have to like backtrack onto this. I feel like a regex that's gone wrong. Because I'm backtracking twice to figure out the meaning of like will be empty for false. And then the color 1 and color 1 white for true. Wait, what? Wait, what? And color 1? What? Am I going crazy? What? I'm too tired for this. We'll figure that later. Lua doesn't have a built-in turning operator, but you can emulate one in the way. Due to the way it evaluates conditions, a common technique to reduce code size is to turn this code into this code. Return x equals 0 and 5 over 5. Right. Because then it's like, if it's true, it would do this. Otherwise, it would do this. Because if you do this, it would just return the 5 directly as part of the statement. Okay, yeah. Scoring. Each puzzle is scored with 2 different metrics. Code size measures the amount of code used in each solution. Cycles measures the performance. Code size is calculated in tokens. A token is an individual element of your code, such as a keyword. Actually, if you want to know this, there's a very good article by something Norvig on him implementing a compiler for Lispy. How to write a Lisp interpreter in Python. And he actually goes over just the general basics of what a compiler is and what like a programming language looks like. And it's a 500-line program that implements the entire language of Lisp. And it's a fantastic read because it introduces you to the terms that you will eventually come to recognize when you read this. Because a token is not just any word, it's specifically words that have meaning. It's a semantic string of any number of characters that leads to something in your code. White space, like spaces, empty lines are not counted, so white space is fine. Comments also not counted. Closing elements such as thing are not counted. Closing elements. Numbers have an escalating token cost outlined below. Huh? Numbers have an escalating token cost outlined below. String values have an escalating cost outlined below. For example, the following code would be counted as tokens like this. Return 11 minus... Okay, and the magnitude of a number determines its token count. Oh, that's tricky. That's very tricky. So yeah, so let's say you want to target every like second number. Not only like you would have to like, you know what I mean? You have to be smart with your math. Because it's like you could, if you need a number within the 257 to 4096 range, you could incur the cost of 4 tokens, or you could use 2 0 to 16 tokens. Like you just do 16 times 16, which is, I don't know, 256, right? And you can get there to 256 for 2, and then you can just add, I don't know, something. Like you can probably do a bunch of things to manipulate the numbers to make it lower cost. Maybe, I don't know. It seems like that could be a way to game it, but I can't really tell yet until I put it into practice, because I also don't memorize the numbers like most people. I don't remember numbers. But also it's interesting that the cost goes up depending on the number. But the way it is, I think it's how much memory space you take. I think it's literally how much space you would have to take in memory, and then the cost in the token would go up, because like these would need more to store each number, because it's, you know, it's like, you know, 2-bit value, 4-bit value, 8-bit value, stuff like that. Okay, the length of a string determines its token count. The cost doubles for every 2 characters in a string. That's cruel. That is cruel, man. That's some cruel stuff, man. Actually, I've thought about this. You've never seen code written in a foreign language. That's the crazy part to me, is I've never seen code written in a foreign language. Like every statement is in English. But if this was written in a different language, like your token system would be way more complex in terms of cost. Cycles are based on counting Lua instructions that are executed when running your code. Every Lua instruction is added up, and then the total is divided by the number of voxels in the scene, giving you an average cycles per voxel. Because it is an average, you can sometimes reduce this number by making sure that simple voxels execute less code than complex voxels, yes. Every time you run your code, the current code size and cycle count are displayed at the bottom near the color palette, right? Try different things to see how it affects the code size and cycle count. For puzzles that you have already completed before, it will also display a delta compared to your previous best, so you can track if your new solution is improving the metrics or not. Okay. So if then, I mean, so dark blue or light green. Okay, well I can just do this. I need to change my keyboard at some point. I can definitely see that my keyboard is going to be very annoying to deal with, because the problem with my keyboard is that I don't have arrow keys, really. Like, my arrow keys are kind of fucked up in like its own space. Also, how do you do a ternary again? What was it again? Because my arrow keys, half of them are on one finger, the other half are on another finger. And I don't know what to do. But because of that, it's like frustrating because it's like, oh shit, like what? Wait, can I just do with this actually? No, because you have to return something. Because it's like, if I want to go left and right, I have to use my thumb on my left hand. Whereas this one, it's like this. Use J, K, L, I on second layer for arrow keys. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to do layers for arrow keys. Like some buttons I don't like on layers because it's like I'm already trained not to use it. Like I'm already trained to use it in a non-mnemonic way. Like I've trained myself to use the arrow keys directly. So to have to remember to like activate layer 2 or 3 to then use it, and then to have to retrain myself to do that, and then have it not be a mnemonic layer or like a mnemonic pattern that I have to follow every single time on every other keyboard is going to trip me up. Like for me, I like to save layers specifically for things that are so rare that it switches context in its own way. Like a numpad, I never use a numpad. So when I need to use a numpad, I put it on its own layer, because to me, it is its own layer on every other keyboard, even if that keyboard has a numpad. Which sucks for roguelikes, because I can't play a roguelike effectively, but I digress. But for like an arrow key, because it's something that's there on every keyboard, if I had to then all of a sudden learn a second layer, it would throw me off. Because I can't really, like, it's weird. I'm not good at switching context. Okay, so what was it? I had to match this, so it has to be, I don't know, it has to be lower than, what number am I? Y equals -2. What? No, it has to be 0. Y greater than 0. And then what's the color again? And then the color is not green. It's, was it orange? It's like 8. There we go. Neat. I like this idea of again, the leaderboard idea is very interesting. There's something cool about the fact that there's a leaderboard. It's just, it's very Elite Cody, which I enjoy. Because then look, how do you get down to 6, right? Then it's a puzzle of like, how did these people intuit something about 6? And then think about the cycle. So how did these people intuit something about a lower cycle? Like, let's say, what's the cycle for 1? It's loading, just give them a moment. To 3, right? It's like, okay, how does this work? It's very fascinating to sort of think about. We toggle the layer with the right hand thumb, so it's not that bad. Well, it's less so what hand I use. It's not really the hand that I use, it's more so the fact that like my problem is more so trying to train myself to think in a different way again. And then to carry that training into another keyboard and then have to remember that within this context there's something to do. Like it doesn't matter what hand I use. So it's like, even whether it's left or right, I would still have that problem where it's like I'd still be boned. So I wish I could do what you do, because I can't do that. To me, it's like I would forget instantly. You'd think I'd be fine after a few months. Yeah, but then what's the point of doing that? Like, then it raises the question of like, if the system that I have now is relatively usable, and I rarely use my arrow keys anyways for most things, because most things don't really need arrow keys. So you can actually get away with a lot without arrow keys, right? What's the point of spending another few months to switch my mindset about it, right? It's like a minor annoyance for a few months, but then what do I gain from switching out of it? Not really much. Yeah, if you don't see the benefit, then sure. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like, what is the benefit? Let's say if I don't feel the benefit, like, what is the benefit that I should be feeling, if that makes sense? Like, it's a bit interesting to sort of think of it in that light, because then it's like, okay, well, what's the point, really? I bet you could do some math. Like, you could probably do, like, I don't know, something minus something equals the color, the number of the color. Like, the position of the thing. I wonder how to get down to 1 cycle. Does this change the cycle if I do 12? No. It's the same. What would lower the cycle? Is the if form that much better? Like if I do return this, else, return this. Oops. It is actually, wait, the if form is actually less. What? Wait, what? What gets counted as a token? Code size +3, but then the if form is less now. Huh? Code size +3, if form is actually more efficient. What? That's very interesting. That's very odd. It's actually better performance than last time in terms of cycles. So, what? How come though? Based on the rules, return x equals 0 and or 15. Wait, I need to look at scoring again. String text cost. Token is an individual element of a keyword if, then, and. Oh, but does it count return? Yeah, it does. Number 1, and then because the number is within the range of 1 to 16, it's still fine. Because up to 16, then you get 1 token cost. Because of each token itself, it's like 1, but n tokens is 0, so that final thing wouldn't count. It's only the cost of... Really, it's what only counts the first cost of calling it. In this case, wouldn't this be like a lot then? Well, okay, let me just count this out in a way that isn't confusing to me. So it'll be like this, and it'll be like this, and you do like... Okay, oops, I didn't mean to do that. The autocomplete there is a bit annoying because you hit escape and it dies. So it'll be 1 is a variable access is a 1. So when you access variables or an identifier, right? 1, 2, operator, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? So that's 11. But then if return y greater than 0 and 12 or 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? Oh wait, no, sorry. I mixed up. I keep mixing up the cycles and the code size. Okay, so it was correct. So the code size is correct. The cycles, this costs more because you're doing an and or. Because you're executing a condition. Because cycles are what? Cycles are based on counting Lua instructions that are executed when running your code. Every Lua instruction adds up, and then the total is divided by the number of voxels in the scene, giving an average cycles per voxel. Because in average, you can sometimes reduce them and make sure the simple voxels execute less code. That comes with. Right. Right. Oh, actually, then you could just do this. Just do this. Well, I mean, it's all the same, because it seems like the if, then, and, else branching... I mean, it does make sense, because the branching would end up being the same anyways. The branching would end up being the exact same no matter what. Well, maybe you could do a combination of them both. Like, maybe you could do like this, and then and 12, return 8. I don't know. Would that be stupid? That seems stupid. No, that seems stupid. Yeah, because you have to do like either that or that. Okay, well, fuck it. Whatever. How do I move on? Or 8, sorry. Okay, go. Continue project manager in comparison. You use many different conditions to compare numbers. Here's a quick list. I'm gonna need to write this down somewhere. I need a sticky note. Again, cool OS implementation. This is a great idea. It, again, very, very similar in feel to something like... This is one Zachtronics game based in Shenzhen. What? Zachtronics Shenzhen? Shenzhen IO. Very similar feel to that, where it tries to build this fake UI interface. Obviously not this complex though. Like, this is a very, very complex UI. But it totally works out because it helps you write things down to remember things. Remember, Lua is fucked. It's for an EQ, not tell mom I love her, call wife. I don't know, you can do anything. Show all stickies. You just do anything. You just add like a sticky note as much as you want. This is what a cool concept. This is such a great concept. And what's interesting too is it's just as annoying as having one monitor. One of the best things that I did when I got a job was buying more than one monitor. Because when I was able to afford more than one monitor, my life became that much better. What is CPU mode? Energy saver. What does it even mean? We'll do, well no, we'll do 12 hour, because you have AM, PM, user interface size. I am old. Okay, I'm not this old. Uh-oh. Help! 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 Uh-oh. 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 I can't press anything. Uh-oh. I can't press anything. Uh-oh. I can... My IDE is taken over. I press the maximize button. Uh-oh. We're gonna reset the game. Okay, do not put scale at two times. The game does not like that. The game does not like 2 times UI scale. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, thank God. 1 times. Okay, user interface theme, light or dark. Doesn't really change anything because I'm still blinded by my background. And actually, it is actually significantly worse because this text editor does not. This hurts my eyes more than light background. This is a psyop that is trying to teach you that a light background editor is king. But really, it's just the size of the font. You can change the background. Wait, really? How? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Mechanical keyboard. What is this? What is this? Oh, the sound of the keys. Sick. You don't know how, but you know that you can change it. Okay, what you may have seen was something from the stream that may have been like a feature in like beta. Reds are clicky, browns are mushy, blues are snappy. Butterfly is very mushy. Gaming is incredibly clacky. I like blue. It's snappy. My keys are lubed up pandas. I lube the fuck out of them. I got these like panda keys. Holy pandas, and it's a holy pandas? Oh wait, no, maybe that was my other keyboard. But they're basically soundless. My keyboard makes no noise except for the Windows key. Because the Windows key is the one thing that I want to hear, because then I know that something's wrong. If I press the Windows key, something's very wrong, because I need to open something ASAP. Okay, so blue... Kind of a cool setting though, like it is fun to play with this. I have thought about this as a game concept, a mechanical keyboard building simulator game, where you can draw the actual like board itself, and you can like make the connections, and you can do like a 3D printed quote unquote file. Like it would take an actual STL file and just display it, and you could use that within a real 3D printer. And then, but then it also would simulate the keys, and you could like press on your keyboard to hear the keys. And what I wanted to do was that I would have a mode of the game where it was like green screen your keyboard. So you'd have your keyboard on your screen in a small window where it's like see-through, and you can move it anywhere to pretend like you have that keyboard. And you could like listen to your own keyboard through your headphones to make yourself feel happy about, you know, having your own keyboard. Did I write that down? I need to make sure that I wrote that down, because that's a moneymaker, man. That's a moneymaker. Yeah, keyboard simulator. Yeah, literally keyboard simulator gives you the sound of a good keyboard, can draw traces and boards and stuff, would give you real STL file that you could actually 3D print. Mode of game where you can green screen keyboard onto computer, transparent background, and just enjoy it. That'd be really nice. You have pink alpacas. Too bad you don't use MX switches. Can we say something? Can I say something about these names for keyboard switches? Holy pandas, pink alpacas. Your grandmama's tatas. Like this. Why are there so many different names? Why is it so complicated? Why couldn't we just say, you know, like key, number, value, sound? Like I have to go to a YouTube video to figure out, does MX red sound clicky clackier than like an MX brown? It's like, why can't the name of the key just be red click, brown mush, blue clack, right? Like I would rather have that. I'm mad. Can I reset my code? Thank you. I don't know why it's all fucked up. Sorry. Well, I know why it's fucked up. It's me. Oh, Ria name. I need a job. There we go. Use many different conditions. Try changing the conditions to solve this one. So I need to do... What? What? So everything above 7... No, everything above 1. Oh, it is normalized. It's normalized to be 0 center. So it's actually... It's very similar. This is actually 99% similar to... Yeah, it's very similar to Shadix. Okay, so yeah. So it's all normalized to 0. Where the axis is... Like, where the axis is, the origin is at 0, 0, 0. And everything's centered around 0, 0, 0. So the object itself is centered around 0, 0, 0. Okay. I got it. Oh, and it has a handy little number scale on the side, which I didn't see. Okay, so that's actually very handy to see. But I will say... I kind of wish it wasn't the dot indicator. I kind of wish it was like the brace indicator. Like how it's like a brace here, brace here. Because then it's like the number in the middle would apply to that brace versus like the dot. Because then the dot, it's like, it's still a little hard to see, but I can't tell if it's just my eyes. Oh, maybe it's just because of this. Like sometimes if it goes like this, it's like, okay, well, what does this mean? Because it's not the forward. But if I... It's just a perspective issue. Like, if I change it to this perspective, then it's very easy to see. Anyways. So, what was the thing again? There was like that thing in between. There was the in-between thing built in. Can you lose that? No, you can't lose that. Okay. Can I... What's that button do? How do I see... Okay, so you can snap the face like this. In perspective, you can't snap the face. In orthogonal, you can snap the space. You can turn the ruler on and off. You can show the axis things. You can show the white box around it. Okay. What does this button do? What does this one do? I don't know what that does. You think it's a rotation button, but I'm already rotating. So, what? Is it like a tool button? I guess maybe there's more tools. Are there more tools? You hold it and drag. It's not working. So I'm clicking and I'm going. But that was a good guess, because yeah, sometimes you have that. Like, it's very similar to how in like a video editor you would have this. You would have the scroller. I forget the name of it. The seeker, the scroller. That little thing that you would. It's like a little nub, and you would hold it to like seek back and forth by the milliseconds. But it feels more like a mode. But it's weird to have a mode button when there's only one mode. However, this implies that they're going to add more modes. So, to know if they're going to add more modes, you can go to the community, built-in forum. Fucking sick idea, by the way. Actually a cool idea. And you go and you check the wish list. I mean, the roadmap. Hello, everyone. Here's my latest plan for near-term updates to the game. Add search to CubeNet. To this? I don't know if you want to search this, man. Like, do you really want to see any cute kitties in chat? Is there any more pages? Wait, how come it's... Oh, no. Okay, scaling is a little weird. Page 2? If statements. Why Lure and not HLSL? Because you would go insane. Do you... This isn't even like a real question, is it? Also, I found another thing from the video. I finally found the name of it. I forgot the name of it. Fuck. What is it? What is it? They have a program to compile from a higher level language down into HLSL and GLSL, depending on your target platform needs. So, if anything, you'd want to just learn that. If anything, you would just want to learn that language and use that, or you would learn whatever the webgasm thing is using. I forget the name of it. So I kind of made a lesbian pride flag and wanted to post it. Okay, but here's the gay pride flag. Wait, that's sick. Wait, no, not tutorial. Wait, no. I want to see my pride flags. Is there... What's the block on again? It's like this, right? It's like, this into... Just this, and then you do this. Yo, that's sick, actually. Wait, is that the lesbian... What's the lesbian pride flag? Lesbian pride flag. Yeah, it is. That's actually cool. Gay pride flag. What's the gay one? Come here. Damn, people get really. I can see why there's a feature in this game called Replipaint. Because then you can also paint anything. I don't think this is. Is this the gay one? I don't know. Well, okay. To be fair, when I Google gay pride flag, it shows me the rainbow flag. But I'm like, wouldn't it be a very specific one? Because isn't the rainbow for all of them? It's like the LGBTQIA+, like it's the whole thing? Because then what's the lesbian and the gay? I don't know anymore, man. CubeNet. Okay. Whoops, I missed the linear circle line. Oh my god, I swapped the colors. It's all over. Never touched color before. Vim key binding, sad face. I know, but that'd be super cool. As a comp prize, or additionally, some basic Emacs bindings are extremely useful, especially since Mac OS respects them as well. And build a muscle memory for CNCP. No. This is. You should never. Don't say that ever again. Don't ever say that Emacs is a good system. You think the guy gay one is blue? Like you said, guy gay one. Yeah, because like gay is, it's like gay is both. It's like you could be like gay girl or gay guy. Yeah, you could be gay girl or gay guy, but then like it's funny that you said that instead of just using lesbian or gay. Because at the same time, it's like, well, because to be fair, it's like gay. I don't know. I'm not the gay one here, okay? The rest of you are actually gay. Like, most of you have been teaching me about this stuff because I don't know the specifics. I only know about the generalities, right? So you, Chad, have been teaching me about the distinctions because I'm not in the know. I'm closer to the gay guy than I am to the lesbian, but I'm still closer to like your like average straight dude than like your average gay guy because I'm not gay, right? So it's like, I don't know. How the heck are people getting such low code counts? Sushi level kind of weird. Never touched the code before. I just want to go through this forum. There's something funny about this. Wow. It even supports thing. Well, just show. What's the better? How do y'all do the sushi level? My duck script. Huh? Let me know if I think it's crazy in size. Huh? I don't even know how to code :B. Custom themes. You can get a couple wallpapers as rewards. Oh, here we go. You can get wallpapers as rewards by completing puzzle packs and get access to code your own wallpapers too. Oh, so that's what the painting is. I bet you the Replipaint is to make your own wallpapers. God, real shit. Math slower than conditionals. Yeah. From my experience, using multiple checks is consistently less cycle-intensive than some simple math. For instance... Wait, I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, sorry. From my experience, using multiple checks is consistently less cycle-intensive than some simple math. For instance, to the power 2... Yeah, because you gotta do, like, the power, man. Yeah, it's temporary store, and you have to actually do this operation. I mean, to be fair, it's hard to think about why these math operations are so complex. Because for us, we automatically break it down in our heads into, oh, it's just this number multiplied by itself. Like, it's just like whatever number times whatever number. But a computer, like, you have a lot of time, say like a square root, right? You need either specialized hardware for it or some shortcuts depending on whatever number it is. Like, it's not actually easy to calculate if you don't have some reference to what the number is supposed to be, or it like could be, with a pre-calculated table of like answers. Like, there's a lot of shit like that makes it hard. Anime puzzles, laggy positivity thread. Share some love, gamers. Compliment thread. Since tagging people just went live at another user and tell them one thing that makes them awesome. I don't know any of you. Oh no. Making such a long post and I misclicked. I was making a list of all CubeNet emojis and native ones. Anyways, here's some anyways. Cool. Spoiler tags. Bug, not able to download attachments. This is actually kind of a cool forum. Imagine you make your own forum and you look at this. I would be so happy as a developer because it's like, damn, people are using it and they're having fun with it. Because it's fun. Looking for your profile picture code. Oh, you have to code your own profile picture. Wait, that's fucking sick. That's sick. Yo. So everybody here programmed their profile picture. Wait, so somebody programmed Tails? Somebody coded Tails. That's fucking sick. Dude, these people are cracked. Boyd with Alice's creations. Like, okay, because if you go back and you look at that thread, right? Think of how much time it takes to do something like the eyeball, let alone the cube with a fake 3D look, because you have to draw and think about how it would look in the background. Then you look at Dolphin, who went full-on like wavelength style thing, which is sick. It's like a wavy arrow. And then you look at Hamstar, which is, they were just like, all right, I'm just gonna make Tails from Sonic. That's, oh, like, look at this. Look at the blending on this. Wow. Damn, these people are cracked, man. And that's actually a pretty cool logo for their name too, you know? I didn't think of my name from my logo. I need to be fair, I've been juggling some ideas for what the logo for the website could be. Because I am trying to think of it. What? Hey there, is you LGBT because you're gun pink? I've seen one too many queer art pieces and trans flags on y'all's profile pictures, mine included, so I'm curious as to how much of a circle is the Venn diagram for the player base of the community, because there's no way the percentage matches up with general society. Thoughts, prayers? Thoughts, prayers? That's funny. I sincerely debated switching to the A/Pan-Rose Pride flag as an avatar, but decided against it because my current one's more personal. But yes, hi, somewhere on the spectrum here too. It's fitted there are a number of correlated variables at play here. Yeah, it's a bit like, I mean, honestly, it's just the tech field. The tech field is just very, very sort of... It's one of the few... this is the best part about the field, is that you are not judged for who you are. If you've ever had to deal with the business side of things, you are judged a lot on who you are. And it is both implicit and explicit about the type of person you have to be. It's very difficult to make it within the business side of things. And the business side would include stuff like finance and marketing and, you know, other bits like that. Whereas the tech side is just what you know. And anybody can know anything. It's sort of the endearing part is that anybody can be anything. Though, again, I don't know what that means, right? I don't know if there is like a true correlation, but we've seen this in the sense of like every IT worker is a furry and every programmer is like on some sexuality spectrum, right? Like it's just the way it is. That's life. Anyway, sorry, that was a weird forum dive. We just kept going down forums. But that's, again, in-game forum. That's a sick concept. And it leads to natural moments like that where you just get to spend time and see how things are and see how people are like. It's cool. So what am I doing here exactly? So if it's in the threes, okay, sure. I don't know. What is it? So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. Man, I do hate having to think about it in relative from origin center. My brain sees this as, oh, just divide it by 3, and you go 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9. Because you started 0, it's like I gotta reorient everything around it. I had this problem when making pixel shaders too, or vertex shaders, where I was like, my head can't get around the fact that like 0 is centered. So, but also the numbers are giving me PTSD because of spreadsheet. So, yeah, I mean, I guess so. I don't know. Let's just do like the simple case. I just want to see what the simple case is supposed to look like. And y less than or equal to, I don't know, -1. Wait, is it? No, opposite. It's minus equal 1 and -1. And then turn, I don't know, what is this? The 9. I need to sneeze. Don't. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to unclick the mute button, sorry. If y greater than equal to 2 and y less than or equal to 4, then do whatever this color is. What's this color? Red? So red would be 7. Otherwise, do green. Which is that 10 or 11? I'm assuming 11. What's funny is, okay, so what's interesting is that I think I'm going to do first pass, just solve them, because I'm very curious about this. If I intuit some of the solution that's like more interesting, I'll just go back and I'll do that right away. But I'm going to save the optimization for later. Not that it's not fun, but I'm curious to see how far this game goes. Because if I spend all day long on optimization, it's going to be kind of Not that it's boring, but I really want to see what this game has to offer. Oh, no. How do I go back? How do I, like, do the thing? How do I... Sorry, the code? Okay, thank you. And then explicit nothingness. Getting 0 or empty will make the voxel into empty space. Right. And the colors are just numbers, so this code will take the Y coordinate, add red, and then the result is the Z color for that row. That means that when Y equals 1, yeah, the color should be orange. Yeah, exactly. So you can do that as well as a shortcut, but I'm not even gonna think about that because it's a little bit complicated in my head so far. So okay, so what I'm curious about. No, I guess you also do like minus. You do like -4, and you could do. There's a couple of math things that you can do. You can do -4, but I'm trying to get like figure out can you lower the number of code size and cycles. Anyways. Let's just keep it simple for now because I'm very curious about this. We just need to see, okay, if returning 0, so returning 0 or empty will make it into an empty space because it disappears. And then what you need to get rid of is, yeah, this is where I would much prefer the bracket style, where it's not the dots. Because with the bracket style, it would be like this containing space is this, whereas the dot, it's like, I don't know. Is it just me? Am I stupid? I'm probably just stupid. So what, you want me to get rid of all the way from 0? Really? Okay. From what? From Z what? 0. Okay. Simple quadrant conditions can be combined. Use keywords like and or. It's messed up, man. This is okay, so on the one hand, Lua is a very easily understandable syntax. There's a lot of like plain English keywords. It's very easy to learn. On the other hand, if you come from already programming languages in like the C family, they use a bunch of symbols, so you're used to the symbols. Like I hate having to reorient my mind every single time. I just want one thing, man. I just want one thing, you know, one thing. To make me feel good. One thing. X was 0, then return. What color is this? White, so it'd be 1. Well, no. What I'm looking to do is the pink. Sorry. I also get confused on the tool window. Like, I keep thinking the top tool window is my current one and not my reference one. But I need to do this. I also can't... Size? Actually, this size is good. Pixelization is... kind of weird. Y 1 to 3. Okay, so well, whatever. Again, I just want to see what this game has to offer. We just go as simple as we can, and then we'll come back to it later to optimize it. Because there's fun in optimization, but I really want to get to the point where you get access to making your own profile picture and stuff. Because I think that's sick, right? I genuinely think that that's cool. Oh shit! An X. Wait, is it X? No, this should be. Sorry, Y. X. Oh, no, X. No, yeah, an X. No, greater than 0. If Y greater than equal to 1, and X greater than equal to 0. Oh, oops. Then, yeah, and then, oh, wait, no, it's not 0. It's at 1. That's 1. I should just keep my mouse over it. And then what do you need? Oh, okay, and it's also the Z. Okay, sure. And then Z only greater than equal to. Okay, cool. The 3x3 grid. Okay, abs can be used to return the absolute value of a number. The absolute value is the positive size of a number. The absolute value of 5. Yep. Very useful for simplifying making objects with symmetry. Right. Yeah. Because then you would do just a symmetrical shape, and it doesn't matter where it is. It's like whether it's on 3 on this axis, whether it's on 2 on this axis or 2 on that axis. It's like simple. So abs, if abs y equals 2, then return white, and abs x equals x is what? 2? Yeah. 2. Oops. 4. There we go. There we go. What am I missing? And it's also this. So now it's the Z. If the Z is... What? What's the Z? Z is 1 to 1. Okay. Or abs z equal 1. Okay. Wait, z? Abs z equal 1 to 1. Or is that? Oh wait, sorry. If abs z not equal. If absolute z. Well, what do I want? Oh wait. Oh. How would you do or and? Can you do this? I actually don't know if you can do this. Or absolute z. I mean, or z greater than equal to. This is stupid. You wouldn't do this, but or z less than or equal to 1. Yeah. Okay. So you can do it. It does work, but I need to think about what exactly I'm trying to do. I need to return 0 for some of these. I can think about it in terms of just what I have, which is like correct on the x and the y. What's the z again? Why is the z so complicated for me? I don't know. Oh right, because x and y is different because it's like filling in the space, whereas like this one is like which space do you fill in on the z. It'd be really nice. I could just transform the coordinate system starting from 0, but then it'd be like all fucked up and shit. Should I? No, don't do that. Just keep it like this. Just do if z is 1, 1, or 1. 1, 0, or 1. Wrap it in another if for a z. Yeah, but I don't want to. Because I'm curious to see like how far you can get with the syntax before it gets really, really painful. If that makes sense. Or like I'm curious to see exactly like what's wrong with my brain that for some reason I can't think about this. It's not about the wrapping thing too. It's like it's just the way that because the wrapping basically what I'm trying to see is what exactly about this is my brain not understanding at this state of exhaustion. Because like what's the thing that it's trying to do is trying to fill in the spaces. I think because in my mind I keep thinking of this as almost like an exclusion rule, not an inclusion rule. So if I think of it as an inclusion rule, then by default, why is it returning white for all of z? Because it doesn't specify on what specific z's. It just does for all of them. So you have to specify the rules for the z's, and then you would return white. I'm trying to break it down like that in my mind so I can remember specifically what I'm trying to do here. And then, yeah, z1, 1, 1, 0, 1. But also, like, I'm getting tired, so I can kind of feel it. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, is there a way to do this in a way that I could save on something? Because even if you wrap it in another if, you have, like, another 3 conditions, which is, like, frustrating. Is there a way you can, like, pull it down? There's an intuition about the space of it. I don't think. Or close enough. And then you do this, and I'm assuming you would do this. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. There we go. Yeah, that's the intuition with the absolute. It's just less than 1. Less than or equal to 1. Yeah. And the importance of end. Lewis syntax error. N expected what? Okay, so that's the error is syntax. Okay, how do you see that again? How do I see that again? You run the code again to see it. It auto runs as I type. So that's why it's running the entire time, because it's auto running while I'm typing. Remember, you need to close each if then with an end keyword. Try running the code and check the error message for hint what's wrong. Okay, yeah. What am I making? What am I making? Okay, 4, 4. Oh, this is the what color is this? Honestly, sometimes I think I'm colorblind, because I don't see this as gray. I know this is the gray, but isn't that black to me? Or, you know what it is? I think it's black because there's lighting. Because I think it's just something. It's just a black. Because like, if it's black, and it's like in lighting, then it's Vanta black. It's like that weird material that's completely black. But the black in a light just gets lighter anyways. I'm thinking of values, which is weird. Why did I do black? Sorry, I was thinking of the thing black. RGB 556487 is dark blue. Wait, what? What are you looking at? Oh, as in that color itself, and then you like did the like a color picker, right? And then this ended up being dark blue. Yeah, right? Like it doesn't it doesn't strike me. I mean, it also doesn't strike me as dark blue, to be fair. Like but it strikes me as like a black that's being lightened by the light on it. So even the dark blue makes me go, I must be colorblind in some way. Okay, project manager. When do I get to unlock the cool stuff, like making my own thing? Profile picture. Sushi? Okay, so return 1 for all of it. Well, I only want to return 1. Well, okay, let's just do a bunch of if statements for now. Can I do... You can't do all 3. X plus Y plus Z equals 0. Oops. Then... And... Return... 7. I don't know why I did that, sorry. Wait, X plus Y plus Z equals 0. Sorry, that's silly, because plus 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 equals 0. It also depends on the monitor panel. That's very true. Why did I try to do this again? What is the intuition that I was trying to do with this? Oh yeah, if they're all 0, then I would return... Because X plus Y plus Z would equal 0 in the middle. But also, that wouldn't be true anyways because of the top side. But I was just trying to see if I could shortcut something. That doesn't make any sense. Sorry, that was stupid. Effect equals 0. Okay, so return 7. That's the one slice in the middle. Oh, well, I guess it kind of is. I'm trying to get like the radial. That's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to get the radial. It's like it's wrapping around itself, and you need the layer, and the layer is... What's the intuition about the layer? Can't recall. Something about the X, Y, Z. Otherwise, you have to check like each one separately. Like you have to do if X, Y, Z equals this, else if X, Y, Z equals that, else if X, Y, Z equals that. Okay, let's just solve it simply for now. If X equals 0 and Y equals 0 and Z equals 0, then 7. And then, what I really want to do is you can just add the numbers up and divide them by something, the number of components. So you divide them all by 3 to get some number, although at 0 it would probably cause a crash because it's not really possible. You divide by 0. It's not worth it. And Z equals 0, then what? I don't know, like 1. Oops. Yeah, maybe I should get like a different monitor, because I've been thinking about that idea of like getting like a really high quality monitor so I can see things better. But the problem is that like, let's say I get like a really high quality monitor, right? What does that change for me? You know, like what does that do for me? How does it really make everything better for me? I'm not sure. Also, I see my problem. Or wait, no, that's not my problem. Wait, no, it's because of the stupid. It's because it's wrapping around. Sorry. This is the other thing that I'm really bad at. I'm really bad with like just visuals, just imagining how the numbers map to visuals. Like, it's hard for me to imagine how this number wraps into the visual itself. There's something, it's like a missing step in my brain to go from the number to what I eventually see on screen. And I like to try to think about how to solve it in my head first, because I want to get better at that, but it's difficult to think of it. The depth doesn't matter. Oh, the depth doesn't matter. Right, because the depth is also the same. There we go. But then I would also need the inverse. It's like if it's this and this, or 0 and 0. It's a lot of if statements. I swear there's an intuition about the way that you can do something with the numbers that gets you there. I'm trying to think of what that intuition is. Okay, you know what? We'll save the intuition for later. I just want to see what this thing looks like. Also, I'm actually curious if it lets you do something like this. Like, is that so? Or Oh god. We shouldn't be doing this, but whatever. 0, 1. Well, how many spaces would you use? Like 2? I guess you would use 2. 0, 1, 0. Then color accuracy is a big rabbit hole. Even the ambient light will change perceived colors. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And then you also have to calibrate and have low delta E. What is delta E? Delta epsilon? What does that mean? Delta epsilon? Well, like, or sorry, not like. Well, I guess also what it means, what the E stands for, but also what I should be thinking of when I want to imagine the concept of delta E. Like, how does that affect the colors? Is it the variance in the colors? Is it like if like on the different portions of your monitor, or what is delta E? But yeah, that's the problem. Is that for me to get like the right color accuracy, it's gonna be hard to get there. But at the same time, it's like, do I need super accurate colors, or do I need just enough to disambiguate? Right? I feel like I have enough just to disambiguate, and it's just a me problem. Like, I don't know colors. In which case, it's like no amount of color accuracy monitor would ever help me, right? I'm just strange. I'm just strange. We'll fix it later. But there is an intuition about that. Basic cup. Use the 3D view. Look around, zoom in and out, real click or click and drag. Okay, don't click and drag. I don't like the click and drag. Remember, return 0 or empty to make an empty space. It's a teapot. I feel like, isn't this like a classic one where it's like you do the teapot thing to see what it is? Like, okay, so if... for abs... Wait, error? Abs X, Z equal 3. Oh, oops. And then what's the color of this thing again? It's supposed to be? Color is supposed to be 15. I always love the word BTOI. There's something funny about the word BTOI. It's like blown the off in. it's like BTFO. All those like conversion words, ATOI, A2I, I2A, S2I. S2I specifically makes me think of like something involving your asshole, and I don't know why. There's a specific condition that involves your asshole getting blown the fuck out. That makes me think of S2I. I forget the term of it though. It's not stochastic is a philosophy thing. What's that thing about getting your asshole getting blown the fuck out? Anyways, I'll come back to this one too. Okay, so I need to write down all the ones I need to come back to. Oh, oops. Don't abs. So, okay, everything from... Okay, I'll just write this down as like a... remind me later. Redo all of them and think... and the code size after we're done. The straightforward... what's the term again? Is it greedy? I forget the actual fucking term. I have to have done the greedy solution. It's a way to calculate how close the display colors are to calibrated / standard colors. As in, you can have monitor that can cover 100% of sRGB, but delta E will tell you how close the colors are to the standard. Oh, so any variation away from the standard. That's an interesting concept, actually. I actually do like that. Huh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like, you have the capability, but are you actually good at it? It really depends. Don't forget, you can put conditions inside other conditions. Yeah. So, okay, well, the fuck is this? Okay, well, I'm just gonna... just fuck it. So if... y... I need to stop typing brackets, or parentheses. Equal to 0... then end. So then end, return... Well, okay, no, see, it's not 12, it's 13. This especially, I don't know why, but I can't... From this distance, I don't know why, but I can't make the mapping to whatever color it is. Like, from here, this looks like a 12, but I know it's a 13 now because I tried it and it was wrong. It's fascinating to me. Oh, you actually, look, you can highlight you can highlight the color, and it highlights exactly which block it is. Okay, that's even easier. Huh. I kind of wish when you hovered over it, it also showed you the color that it is then. Because on the hover, it gives you the coordinates, but it doesn't give you the color number, which would be handy. For people like me, that's everything, man. That's everything. That's everything. Or what you've seen, budget 1 can get to delta E less than equal to 3. Pro ones can go to delta E less than equal to 2. And for colorists, they can go below 1. Those colorist displays are like 10 to 50k. Holy shit. Or colorist displays, because, okay, one colorist sounds like racist, and I don't know if the colorist wants to be known as that, but I'm just sorry if I said that. 2 is a colorist, like, it's not... okay, it really does sound racist, because the colorists care about the color. Like, they care about the difference in color. The colorists care about the purity of the color. Holy shit. But 3 is a colorist, something like, let's say, like the color person on, say, a comic or an anime. Or like a manga, or like a piece of art, where they're the ones doing the final colors on like a piece of artwork. Or like just anything, really. I mean, anything that requires color, they're like the final person that is doing that color work. Because I'm assuming when you're at the line art stage, you don't really need that, or whatever that portion's called. Colors do the color grading for movies/films. Oh. Are they the same reason why some movies are so dark you can't see shit? And you know what I mean. Like, some movies have dark scenes where you can't see anything. Are they the reason why the Game of Thrones final fight scene was so dark in the middle of the night that you couldn't see anything? Because I remember my wife's friend who was renting out our place. She was in her room, she was watching it, and then she was like, I can't see anything. And then we were like, yeah, we can't see anything either, man. It's pretty bad. Are they the reason why Game of Thrones? Are they the reason why Game of Thrones failed? Find out more in this video essay from me. If why? Actually, okay, well, no, let's just do it like, oh shit, oops. One thing I hate too is just this, but I hate having to remember the hotkey to stop showing that menu while I'm navigating. Because it sucks that you have to stop navigating to do that and then continue navigating. Anyways, so yeah, now I see why the lesson here was to do something like this, because you're supposed to do something like this, and then you do. I didn't sneeze. Okay, I muted in time, sorry. Every time I had to sneeze, I had to close my eyes, so I can't find the mute button. I was trying really hard not to press the end screen button, or like... Because my Windows setup is like slightly weird, where like everything's on the left side for my controls. I'm gonna move it down here. Where it was before, because I moved it down here. I was trying it today on the left side, because I wanted more of the right side for chat, but... Because, especially for the chat, it kind of gets hard when it's a small window. Actually, this can be over here. I don't give a shit if you raid me. Sorry to raiders. This is not to say that I don't appreciate you if you sub to me. Listen, I guess I do. But the problem is that, like, I need real estate, man. Okay? Do I care about somebody raiding me, or do I care about the +2 that somebody typed inside chat? Right? Can I get a... Can I get a "Aw, yeah"? Aw, yeah? What's wrong with me? You know I'm 30. Else. Oops. Return. What? I don't know. Oh, wait. And you just do return 7. I like numbers. Anyways, please, okay, to whoever knows that answer, I don't know where you will answer me, but please tell me, because I don't know who deals with brightness. And is it not true that you are closer, like a colorist is closer to a racist than I ever will be? Sorry. You gotta think about your terms, man. Like, we call ourselves programmers. We don't call ourselves, like, typists, alright? It's a whole different thing. Hard to tell, a lot of stuff can affect the gamma and brightness. Oh, yeah, because... Okay, so... I guess what is gamma? Might be even something on the TV or the video color profile or... whatever. But that widespread, though? Because, like, it felt like everybody was saying that Game of Thrones episode was super dark. And I remember reading how they even tested it on, like, higher-end devices with, like, really nice displays, and it was still just too dark to see anything. Like, it felt less of a technical thing of, like, a machine compared to the fact that you just... Like, that scene was just dark. It was in the middle of the night. The army was barely lit by, like, 1 or 2 torches, and everything was just happening. It was very confusing. It can just be an artistic choice. Like how... Okay, are colorists responsible for why Deus Ex Human Revolution is fucking orange? I hated that shit. Down with colorists. Down with racists. Probably. Yeah, probably. That game actually, like, pissed me off. Like, I was so sad when... it had this, like, orange tinge on everything. I was just so pissed off. I was like, dude, like, really? Like, the point of the game is to, like, see things and take in the beauty of that world, that virtual world with all these, like, really cool things going on. Like, you go see Hengsha, and you go, wow, this is a really cool take on, like, a futuristic version of Hong Kong that has, like, a multi-tier system, much in the same way that, you know, the current day society in most places, in most capitalistic places has, with the oligarchy and, like, the hoi polloi, right? And then you see everything, and it's like, it feels like Agent Orange has been sprayed upon the populace, both in America and in Hengsha, because everything is orange. And I'm like, buddy, we're all gonna get cancer in, like, 2 months. Like, what the fuck is going on here, man? I can't see anything. It was so frustrating. I was like, my family ran away from that to get away from that stuff, man. Like, we would just let me go. As a side note, those colors displays that are 10 to 50k most likely cost that much because of the patents for cinema formats. What? Patents for cinema formats? What does that mean? As in, like, patents for cinema formats? Oh, because it's a color format that you're talking about, but you don't know the exact numbers for the color formats. But your monitor has a setting to display it in those formats. That way, you can do the color to that standard. Because then you would see what it would look like on a cinema screen, which is a deeply held secret because of the patent? Is that what you mean? Just like H.264 is patented. Well... Oh, so you mean like the technical specification itself? I'm trying to think of like what the patenting thing means. Because like H.264 is patented, but then isn't it like the implementation of it? Or... like it's either the implementation of it, where it's like if you do the implementation and then it outputs that format, then it's that? Or is it actually the output format? I can't recall. Like, can you reverse engineer it? I don't know. Either way, it's hard for me to, I guess, like, fundamentally understand what you mean by that. Because it's like, what is patented? Like, what is the patent for? If that makes sense. Create your own variables for more complex logic. Here we're creating a new variable called color, which we manipulate across multiple if statements. And then finally return at the end as the final voxel color. What? Watch out for typos. Here we spelled color differently. You're so lucky you said differently. I want you to know every Canadian person out there would have like gone frothing at the mouth if you... No, I'm just kidding. But there's something funny about the fact that it's different. This should be the only way. Although, did you know about this? Honor is spelled with a U. Well, it's not. Well, okay, honor, if you're a Canadian and like a British person, is spelled with a U, right? Honorable, so honor is with a U, right? Honorable is without the U, and this is the actual spelling. Like, what the fuck happened, man? So color. Here's another example. The error because of color before everything take on a nil value, which is kind of confusing. It's because color doesn't exist, so it's considered nil, a nothing value. And Lua doesn't know how to add 1 to a nothing value, right? Because nil is the, I forget the term of it. What's that term? It's like the terminating type or something, or like the final type or the base type. There's a specific term for the fact that every value can go into this one type. Specific term. It's like terminating value or base type or something like that, or but it's basically the reason why everything can be nil and why defaults are like nothing, why nothing is that. Cool, so we're done with the basics. Give me the good shit. Welcome to Replicube. Welcome to the community. It's exciting to see a new player join the community. Great job finishing the tutorial projects. Here are a few more puzzles to try out next. Also, don't forget to sign up for your CubeNet account if you haven't already. CubeNet accounts are used for the leaderboards and even more importantly, the community discussion forums, which is absolutely sick. Because again, where would you go for this otherwise? You'd go to Reddit. And do you really want to go on Reddit? If I go on my Reddit homepage right now, what's the first result? Reddit.com. 36% of Albertans and majority of UCP voters want to leave Canada. Like that's, every time you go to Reddit, you lose a little bit more hope within the human race, right? And then it's like, okay, well, what do we do, right? So imagine you want to get some answers for your game. You don't want to go to Reddit because you got to deal with that. Instead, you can go to the in-game forum. Fucking sick idea, man. What a good idea. I was like sure what is patented in the cinema pipeline, but you know that to be able to make for cinema displays like IMAX, these special licenses. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, that does make sense though, yeah. That also explains why there's so few IMAX theaters. Which sucks, because the one IMAX theater that I have to go to is downtown and uptown, and both are like an hour away, and I hate that. Friendly reminder about spheres. What? To make a sphere, use the mathematical equation, right? Because yeah, x times it's to get the to get the radius. I've seen people try to use the square root function so they can isolate variables, but that's unnecessary here in Replicube. Yes, because you have the coordinates, but also it is faster to just take it and to square it versus the square it versus thing. So say you want to make a sphere of radius 7, you gotta use a boolean by doing da 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 da. You just use a boolean if statement or transform it to a number using the built-in function b2oia. But that type of making spheres, you can change how smooth the sphere is by playing with the R2 value. See, this is the other fun thing about this game that I really enjoy. This is a good, this is very weird, but it's a very nice segue into just general graphics programming stuff. Where it's like you have the baseline skills and then you have an appetite to learn more from this game, and it gives you a way to practice those skills, and then it gives you like a jumping pad to learn more. Because it's very math heavy. And it's incredibly complicated math that I'm still not good at, and I wish I was better at. But the best way to get better at it is to practice. But again, it's that thing that I talked about at the beginning where it's like, if you don't have a reason to practice, why would you want to do it, right? Like it's hard to remember that for you to want, like for you to have a reason to do something, for you to do something, you have to have a reason for it, and most people can't find the reason. A game like this is great. V1 Ultra Kill moment at 2:20 a.m. Wow, really bad V1 pixel art, so cool. What? Where do I change my profile picture? I assume it's an unlock. Okay, now I found the search bar in here. You make them in Replipaint, which will unlock once you finish illustrations. Okay, we need to get illustration. So let's do intro challenges. Let's just get as many of these as we can, okay? Staircase. This one might take some thinking to solve elegantly. You hover over the mouse of the target, you can see its color. You look at the relationship of the X red and the green values. Yep, that they're both the same. Yeah. So it's like, if X equal Y, if X equal Y, then return 1, and oh. Huh? Wait, what? Oh, oops. If there we go. Okay, flip it. Okay, diagonal line. You're gonna do a diagonal line, and you're gonna do X, Z. It's Z and X. Okay, if Z and X are the same, so return. No, it's return. Oh wait. X plus Y would be this, right? It'd be going like this. Really, wouldn't you want to return? No, you wouldn't even want to return that. You wouldn't want to do that. Return. Well, okay, let's do it like this. I'm just curious about, because you can do, there's something about the fact that you can like add them together that would actually make this. But I can't, I'm too tired to think of this. I'm just genuinely a bit too tired to think of this. It would be... well, because it's supposed to be like this, and you kind of get the shape, kind of, but it's specifically on that one value versus everything in between as well. Like it's only this one white thing in the middle here. So it really would be like, I don't know, if x equals... Am I stupid? Fuck it. I'm just curious if you can just do this. I'm green. I'm trying 11. It's close. I need that. Well, it's wrong. What am I doing again? Yeah, I feel stupid. Go 2, 2. Oh god, wait, just give it a moment. I'm also trying to... Okay, I've lost my place. Wait, sorry. I'm trying to look... This is the key. 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Yeah. Equal 11. Why did I add these numbers again? Why did I add these numbers? Why did I do that? My left side of my brain feels fuzzy. Whatever. Just do it like that. There was something that I was thinking, like I had an intuition and then I lost it immediately, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so fuck it. What is this? Three black, gray, white, nothing. Oh, you just do you can just do return X. Like you can do return X. Oh wait, sorry. I keep forgetting that the top is what I'm looking at. Sorry, I just I keep forgetting that the thing I'm trying to solve is at the top. It's not the bottom. Okay, so it's just whatever. Again, simple, straightforward. I just want to get to the point where I can make the profile pictures, and then we'll come back to this game in the future at some point to do it properly. So, okay, you gotta go like this, Y, and abs equal abs z, then, and return 3. Just simple, and then we'll get the actual, and then we'll think about how to do the math operations properly. You use the module symbol to return the remainder. Okay, this operator always confuses me, but I don't know why, but my brain doesn't seem to think of the modulo operator very well, but it is just the remainder. I need to remember that. If you thought I was smart before, this is a great way of showing you that I'm very stupid. But also at the same time, math is incredibly complicated. Things like X. Ooh, what did I do? You get it vertical, and then you want to do every 2s to go. And then, oh, you want to do every 3, I think? No, you want to do every 2s. Mod is OP. The mod? Oh, well, the mod is smart. I'd say the mod is smarter than me, by a fair amount. I'd say she's very, very smart. She doesn't ever, like, see herself that way. I'm joking. I have no clue what she thinks about. Oh, modulo. Yeah, mod is OP. Yeah. What's what? Oops. But yeah, it's the fact that you can just do it, and if you have the same value, you can get like a pattern going, because you're effectively running it the same operation across all of them, but it's a different result every single time. Pretty sure this is related to module. Basically, you want to know if X is even and Z is even. Okay. Can't see that. What am I trying to do? Okay, the top is what I need to hit. What did I just do? Oh. That's why they use the... That's why they use the dots. Because you can collapse everything into dotted and not dotted. But also, this is going to be useful because at some point we're going to be making something that has an interior, exterior, something off your head, door stuck. You'd say, what? You'd say top 3 math operations is sine, square root, and modulo. Well, that's a bold move. I would say it's plus minus. That's it. I get what you mean for specifically graphics, but in terms of like the ones that I enjoy working with the most, it's plus or minus. Like it's in terms of usefulness for graphics, yeah, I can see why, you know, getting the sine of something, the square root and the modulo to like do stuff is important. To like be able to just enjoy my life, plus and minus is nice, man. Especially for like finance. I will say this. Can I say something about finance, guys? Finance guys, your math is just plus and minus. Like, what exactly are you doing? This is somebody who doesn't know anything about any field except for my narrow view on the program, right? Again, I need to stress here, I'm not a genius. I'm an idiot, right? Plus is overrated. You can just use 2 of the minuses. What's funny is that works because of the negation rule, but also because if you look at the plus symbol, it's just 2 minus symbols perpendicular to each other. I'm going to say this very incendiary phrase, but understand again that I am not any smart person, okay? I have a very narrow view of where I am smart-ish, I would say, but other than that, I'm not a subject matter expert on anything. Even the thing that I am at a subject matter expert on, it's only because society deems you a subject matter expert once you get into the field ASAP, because of the reality of that you need to be able to do something to survive, right? But in truth, one is always a student of the master that is life, right? You are always at the mercy of the world and you have to always learn something. But finance bros, what the fuck are you calculating, man? It's just all pluses and minuses. Like, I do my taxes, I'm like, I bought this, minus, I made this much money, plus. What are you doing, man? Like, oh, multiplication? Oh, that's crazy. Okay, cool. When do you ever divide something? Never. You never divide anything. Accountants. Tax people. But, oh, sorry, you need to buy a subscription to TurboTax to do your taxes. Motherfucker, I'm paying you to do plus, minus, and maybe multiplication. That's it. I'm not buying 12 tractors on the daily. I'm plowing all 69 of your mothers, but that's a whole different thing, okay? Yeah, division is bad. You can get undefined values so easily. Yeah. It's just because like it's hard to imagine the use of it, and it's also hard to think of too, because the way that it works and the way that the values sort of scale with it. Like if you think of it in terms of like graphing out a value with division, like it's just kind of like weird to map the way it's supposed to look like in your mind. And then also because of all the various rules. Because with division, you can't divide by 0 and then everything breaks. But because within a shader, you can have something at 0, 0, 0, like directly 0, 0, 0, and then you're duped. And you don't even have to have something that, like exactly at there, although it will be at there. Just something close enough to it that like the floating point value would just be sort of like, I don't want to say washed away, but like, yeah, basically washed away to where it's basically 0. Because of the way the floating point values work. Like you have more precision within the top 0.5 compared to like the bottom 0.5 or something like that. I forget which one it was. Anyways. If x equal thing and y equal thing, so if wait, what? No, y equals 0. So else, why is it returning pink? Sorry, why are you returning pink? We'll do 3, 1. I've already gone too far. I might as well stick with it. Y equals 0, 0. I mean, really, I should just do this Just do it simple for now, because I don't want to think too. I don't want to think too much about the math. I'm gonna be your realtor. My head hurts. Everything hurts. And then you gotta do and Z. Kind of, not really. What was it again? Z. Pretty sure this is basically related to module. Basically want to know if X is even and Z is even. Okay, well, we have that as even. The problem is that to get the checkerboard, it's the one-off thing. It's a checkerboard thing. I swear I've done this multiple times, but I keep forgetting how to do it. It's like because this is like one. It's one of those things that you do to like. It's one of those basic math operations that you would do to write your first shader to test and help you understand what patterns are in general and how the math would work. But I keep forgetting it. Just give me a second. And also, is there an intuition that I can do here? Do I even need the if? If y equals 0, I guess we kind of have to. Either way to do y equals 0. And what am I looking at? Like now my brain's getting tired actually. We will have to think about stopping this soon. Because I am getting tired. But it's... Why did it do this? What was it again? If you do 1, there's like no remainder ever. Right, do like that. And 30, yeah. X is 2 is this, that makes sense. But it's also because of every other thing. Wait, why is it... Don't take this as a template. What can I intuit about the numbers? It's X and Z and Y in the 2-axis. Wait, can I just do like this? Can I just do like Y not equal 0, then return 0, and then otherwise you return this. X or Z... What's crazy is that, like, I was just thinking about this, sorry. I was just thinking about this. The person who made this game ultimately had to do more, right? Because if you struggle with this, think about the amount of struggle the person who made the game had to go through to get to this point. Because, like, this and the transformation of this window and, like, everything that you're doing, basically, is this on crack? Because they're not doing it just for, you know, a voxel, for a fake voxel. They're doing it for... any number of pixels that they have on screen for all of this, all these different elements. I mean, to be fair, some of it's probably abstracted by the game engine, but still, it's kind of cracked. Why is it so hard for me to do? I think because we're like 7 hours in and spreadsheet like genuinely ruined me. I think, okay, you know what? At least we know now. Because this is, okay, so the reason why we had lunch today in the middle of a stream was because I was trying something. Usually I eat before stream and we would end it after 5 hours. Because I don't like to go long, and if I eat, I get tired after a couple hours. Today I was like, maybe I can go longer if I eat midway, but I realized I just push off how tired I am until later. Because eating food puts me into a coma. Which is a problem. Okay, effects module 2. Then the return. Oh god, this is, yeah, okay. Let's just do this. Return. What is it? 1 for white, and then but then it's also, oops. Not really. What's the intuition here? I'm trying to think of this. I assume 2. Oh wait, isn't it just that too? Yeah, is it just that? And Z module 2. Equal 0, equal 1. Oh no, equal 0. Yeah, you do this, and then you would do. And you just do churn. Wait. But then, wait, that was what I had before. What exactly am I missing about this? Oh yeah, right, because it's this. I don't know. I think my brain's fully fried. You do -1, and you go into that side. Yeah, -1. Next -1, and you gotta store it temporarily. They'll go in the middle. Yeah, we'll do this, and we'll do, I don't know. We'll just do it, solve it very simply for now. We'll do it like this, and -1. Module 2. Okay, well, not like that. Okay, can you do like a different color so I can see what the fuck is going on, man? Okay, so that's every other row, right? Wait, why don't I just do... Wait, no, that makes sense because I want to shift it over by 1. And I would do, and then I need to do for Z, then I have to take into account the Z. You do and Z module 2 to 0. Get run. There you go, 0. Yeah, I'm too tired. Okay, you know what? This is a fun game. We'll continue this next time. But my brain's officially fried, and I'm just gonna like throwing code at the wall when I think I just want to sleep. But this game is cool. It's an interesting concept of a game. But the one thing that does suck is that it takes you time to get to the point where you get to do other things like the background on your profile picture. Which makes sense because it's like a skill-based reward of what you get. And then... But it's like, I'm surprised at how long it does take you to get there. But I like that, because it's like, what's the alternative is it just gives it to you, and then it's like, well, what's the point of playing it, right? It's like, it's a cool reward that rewards you in a way that's designed for the game. Because the game is about this weird pseudo-reality where there's an entire community of people who... This is like Fiverr. This is like Fiverr. It's a bit like what happens if you have Fiverr and you pay everybody and you just throw money out there and you say, just submit your code and you'll get paid. And you have a bunch of code just coming in for no reason. That's what it feels like. This feels like a Fiverr game. Not as in like the game itself has the quality of Fiverr, but the way that the amount of people that show up to do this and they all get together to talk about the shared state of things, it feels like that. We have a community of Fiverr developers on Reddit talking about the various contracts. Or maybe even like Amazon Turk, where you have people talking about the various tasks that they get through Amazon Turk. It's a very fascinating sort of world where we're all trapped within a giant... like, imagine if tomorrow society disappeared and everybody died and humanity was restarted, right? But instead of restarting and having like multiple operating systems, we had one. We had this operating system and it's a single form where people just make shapes every day. That'd be kind of cool. That's what this is. It's a cool concept. And again, I really do like the idea of the forum as well, because there's something fun about just having a giant forum that you can view within a game that isn't separate from the game. Because it's like, if you go separately from the game, it's weird to go separately from the game because it's like, how do I say this? It disconnects you, right? But when everything is put into this giant package of everything is within one space, I think that's kind of neat to have. It makes everything feel more alive in the way that like storytelling in games tries to be. But there's not really much of a story in this game. It's just the fact that it's here. But it also serves a purpose beyond the story in that it connects you with other people. It's actually a pretty cool concept. And like really, again, like it's web browsers are cool and going to a forum on your browser is cool, but it's just a hassle. Whereas like this is just a cool idea to have a built-in forum within your game. I don't know. I feel like Path of Exile could learn something from this. Do you think I can look at other creations? Probably. I mean, I can... At least so far, I can do it by copy-pasting this stuff. But, or do you mean I can see things? It may be that I can get to the point where I can see things if I can get to that portion of the game. Like, I probably have to go through this next set of things, which is the intro challenges, which seems to go to 3, because there was another thread that said it goes up to 3. And then you would do whatever the other challenges are, Annie's challenges or something. I'm assuming at that point is when you would unlock more of the community features, which makes sense. But yeah, it's a cool game. It is a cool game. I like what all of this is. It's a very great concept, and it's the kind of thing that you wouldn't really expect from a programming game. This actually feels more involved than something like a Zachtronics game. Whereas like a Zachtronics game is very involved on the programming side, it's not really involved on the game side. Because Zachtronics game is very much like a technical programming exercise where you need to learn this DSL and try your best to make it work within this context. Whereas like this isn't really much of a game, this isn't much of a programming thing because it's just basic lure and just a bunch of like mathematics that you have to think of. But it's more of a game. It's just kind of a neat thing to have. And a game as a whole, with like the world that it's in, the context that it's in, it's a cool title. I'm glad that actually chat showed me this, because I would not have found this. This is something interesting about programming games. It's very hard to find them on Steam. Like, because they get... 1, it's hard to find games on Steam already. 2, it's very hard to find a programming game on Steam, because it's hard to sort of know what a programming game is going to be like before you play it. And then it's also just hard in general to sort of see it in the sea of games and see it stand out. Like when I think of Replicube, I think, oh, puzzle game. I don't think programming game. If I saw that in a list of games of new arrivals on Steam, I would just think, oh, this is just a plain old puzzle game. And I would think to myself, okay, this is a game about you putting like blocks on, right? It's not really a fault of the fact of how the game looks. It's just, at a first glance, it's hard to sort of disambiguate, right? Because programming is primarily the way that you type things and things happen. Like, how do you show somebody the effect of the things that you can do just with magical words on a piece of paper, basically? It's really hard to do so visually. So, you know. But this was a very fun game. I'm glad that you all showed it to me. Please do either add me as your rival, or no, okay, give me your username so I can add you as a rival in here, and then we can track each other's progress, all right? And we can challenge each other. This is way more fun too than LeetCode, because I don't know if you have been doing LeetCode, but I do LeetCode because I have to get like job interviews. When you get to the hard, it's hard, but it also like makes you want to just not do anything. Like, just makes you just go, I don't want to do this anymore. By the time you get to mediums, you're already tired. By the time you get to hard, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it's fun if you're really into that stuff, but I'm not into like the competitive side. It's hard for me to go into like the hardcore competitive programming aspect. Whereas this really does give you a baseline of like, well, you program, but you're not busy learning the language. The language is simple because it's just Lua, right? You're busy actually trying to learn the concepts behind programming, which is how to map the requirements to the words that you type, to the programming syntax that you use, and how to actually visualize and understand the problem space that you're working in, and then how to like build a solution towards that. And you can actually see that there's a benchmark to get better because other people have done better, which makes you feel worse about yourself